Broadcasting the information the mainstream media won't touch. This is The Richie Allen Show in association with DavidIke.com.
Good to be talking to you. Good to be talking to you. Identity politics. And the causing of and the taking of offence. Had a funny thing happen in the last couple of hours. A guest on this programme a couple of times in the first 18 months of the show tweeted me today as part of another conversation about her possibly coming back on the programme. The guest in question was Natalie Rowe. Natalie is a former escort and wrote a very, very interesting book about her experiences as a high-class, very expensive escort in London, where she met many wealthy people and many connected people and many politicians. She was on the programme in the past talking about George Osborne and David Cameron and others. So I got in touch with her today because she's been saying a lot about Boris Johnson on Twitter, and I said, look, if you fancy coming back on the programme tomorrow, let's do that. So she said she was up for that. So she was tweeting away about it anyway. And one of the tweets she put out was a tweet that she has since deleted, strangely enough. A tweet saying that she was going to be on the Richie Allen Show tomorrow unless MI5 put me in my Gucci handbag and take me away. I thought that was quite funny. And I said something I've said many times before to women who talk about Italian designer handbags. I said, Gucci, laugh out loud, knock off from the African boys on the Costa del Sol. Because I know that Natalie Rowe has been a visitor to the Costa del Sol in the past. So she tweeted me back, I don't like that comment, Richie. I think you'll find that the biggest gangsters in Costa del Sol aren't even the African boys. Let's be clear. So she's not got much of a sense of humour then, our Natalie. What have gangsters got to do with anything? Obviously, there is a very shady underworld that provides knockoff goods and DVDs and CDs and Gucci bags and Ralph Lauren bags. But the 99.99% African men who sell the knockoff stuff on the Costa del Sol are hardly gangsters. I certainly wasn't suggesting that they were. I lived on the Costa del Sol for nearly 9 years. And as the future Mrs. Allen had a bar there for several years, we met and interacted quite a lot with North African men who sell knockoff gear to make a living. Not much of a sense of humour. So when I pointed out this was a silly reaction, she pointed out that she took offence at it, and she hinted towards the idea that my referencing African boys selling knockoff goods in the Costa del Sol was offensive and could cause offence. And I pointed out there's nothing remotely offensive about it. Maybe you need to have a look at yourself, stop being hysterical, stop being rather silly, really. She probably had to fight with herself not to use the R word, the racist word. And I find it extraordinary, really. So she loudly, on Twitter, triumphantly declared that she wouldn't be coming on the Richie Allen Show because of those comments. And it's madness, really, isn't it? I mean, it highlights, I suppose, ironically, the timing couldn't be any better, the lunacy of this world, the madness of this world, when people can become hysterical about the most benign of comments. Don't be talking about Gucci bags. You bought yours from African boys on the Costa del Sol. The appropriate response to that was, feck off, Richie, you cheeky bastard. My Gucci bag is genuine or whatever. The idea that it's offensive is madness. And I'm not going to say too much more about that. It's just insane, really. So, Natalie won't be on the programme tomorrow. Her choice. And that's fair enough as well. I suppose if you want to reserve the right, as I do, to roundly criticise and laugh at the sort of hysteria exhibited by Natalie on Twitter, you have to, by definition, I suppose, then you have to accept somebody's right to take offence at the most ludicrous comments or the most benign of comments. It's madness. We live in a mad world where everything is potentially offensive. I wonder, by that logic, will we ever reach a period where people of ethnic group A can't even refer by name to members of ethnic group B lest they be accused of causing offence, causing harm, or being racist? It's madness, isn't it? It's madness. A lesser experienced broadcaster, a lesser experienced journalist might have been bothered by that. I just find it all pathetic and very, very sad indeed. Here are a couple of facts. 99.99% of those men on the Costa del Sol and the Costa Blanca who sell knockoff goods are from usually from North Africa, but often from Western Africa. 99.99% of them. So when referring to, did you buy your cheap bag from the African boys on the Costa del Sol? I'm not going to go any further with this. I'm not going to dignify it. It's kind of silly, really. But it highlights, it's a great illustration of the work we've been doing with some very, very good guests, some very learned men and women on this programme about identity politics and where it's leading. That's about it on that. I'm not going to say any more on that. 12 and a half minutes past the hour. Number of you were making comments on Facebook. And I suppose those of you who made comments on Facebook about the Mexican earthquake, you probably triggered a lot of people. This word triggered. A number of you were saying that, ironically, and I know there were a lot of tongues in a lot of cheeks, a lot of tongues in cheeks. People talking about the fact that there was a drill today and that the earthquake, which has caused devastation in Mexico today, came on the anniversary of another earthquake 35 years ago. Number of people saying, coincidences. A lot of people talking about the way that region, the Caribbean and the east coast of the United States, the southeast coast, has been battered by weather systems, hammered by weather systems for the best part of several weeks now. People asking, there's more to that than meets the eye, isn't there, Richie? Again, you just have to refer to, I don't know. I have no idea. Piers Corbyn was on this programme. Piers accepts and understands he accepts that there's a strong possibility that weather engineering is happening, that it is possible. We've spoken about this on the programme with many men and women, academic men and women from US universities who believe that weather manipulation is not only possible, but is a going thing. It is a going concern. But I don't know. You can speculate all day and all night about these horrendous weather systems which are battering Dominica now as we speak, the Caribbean, however you want to say it, and the east coast of the United States as well. Is something up? I don't know. But you're well within your rights to speculate about that. What else is in the news? Well, a lot about Mexico, understandably, and your heart does break for those people caught up in that. You can't imagine what it's like. The Iranian president, Hassan Rouhani, has his out over comments made by Donald Trump, the US president, to the General Assembly of the United Nations yesterday. Rouhani gave a speech and Rouhani described the nuclear deal as... No, he didn't. What he said was Trump was a rogue newcomer to international politics, and Rouhani denied his country would be the first to violate the agreement, but said Iran would respond decisively and resolutely to its violation by any party. It would be a great pity, said the Iranian president, if the agreement were to be destroyed by Donald Trump. And we're going to talk about that with Dean Henderson in a few minutes' time.